Alright, so welcome back. We are here starting episode 9 in Twentynine Palms, California, with the destination of Palm Springs, California. And we'll be making our way up the west coast to scout for some locations for our home base. So I got everything planned out here. I already did the flight plan. Twentynine Palms, Palm Springs. We're going to get on the parking deck.
Hello, pilot. Let's see what's on the books for you today. Transporter from dispatch. The passengers for the concert are waiting for you at the boarding parking.
So we got a passenger flight.
Captain, we have opened the gates for boarding. The passengers are on their way.
Alright, I'll give a update as we go here. We'll get started first. We're going to be, I think, on parking deck number 20.
Looks like everyone is on board, pilot. Let's get out of here.
Gonna get the engine started here. Get the battery switch going, which will turn on the Garmin 1000 here. So we are still sitting in the Cessna 172. We're also going to turn that on, that they never do on the checklist.
Everything looks good from where I'm sitting. Taxi to the runway and take off.
Alright, we're going to contact, they have comms here, right? Alright, we just got to announce our taxi.
Kilo Tango November Papa traffic Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is taxiing to runway 26.
Turn on our landing lights and our taxi lights. And we are good to go here. So, alright, so we are currently sitting in parking 20, going to runway number 26. We're going to turn on our navigation system here. Parking brake is released. Go to idle. Alright, we're going to push it up a little bit and then pull back. Alright, looking to make a left-hand turn here. Alright, runway number 26, VFR trip here. We'll taxi over. It's not too long. Wow, guy was moving. Got a lot of players out this morning. Let's press on the brakes a little bit, picking up some speed. And we're getting to the runway here. Alright, we're going to hold short of runway 26 for 1 second as we get some other stuff situated here. Alright, so we're there. Parking brake is set. we are going to adjust our heading to approximate. We are climbing to 6,500 feet. Alright, so we are good to go there. Our taxi landing lights on. Everything is good to go here. So we're going to announce our west departure.
Kilo Tango November Papa traffic Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha taking off runway 26 departure to the west.
Alright, our flaps are up. And we are good to go. So I hope you enjoy this flight, and we'll give some updates once we get on our ascent. Runway dips down. Right on the next upslope is when we're going to take off. Right about there.
Pilot, good flight.
Alright, so we're going to turn that on, turn nav mode on. We connect it to GPS. We're in pit mode, which is holding altitude climb. We're going to drop down so we can pick up some speed, get out of that white arc, and then we'll turn FLC mode on. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to start our climb at about 87 knots, currently sitting at 2,500 with a target altitude of 65-62. So we got our flight plan in our navigation system. We're in the desert of Southern California, and we'll go on. So yeah, so episode number 9 here. Appreciate you tuning in. Twentynine Palms, California, with the destination of Palm Springs, California. Yeah, it's going to be roughly 40 nautical miles in total. We got 37 nautical miles to go, and estimated time of 23 minutes for time of arrival. So the plan here for our Neo career is that we're going to be making our way up the West Coast to scout out some locations for a possible home base location that we can build an airport at. So yeah, we're going to do like sort of a mix of on the water, in the desert, and so forth. So we're going to see, if you see an area that would be nice, it needs to be 3 miles away from any other airport. And yeah, so in order to do so, we're just sort of maintaining our flight plan, and we still have the 3 pilots earning us some money, because building that home base will be very expensive. And we currently sit at $1.1 million in cash, and our certifications are still A, C, and E. And we're also going to be keeping an eye out in the marketplaces as we land at other destinations to possibly get into a C-class plane. Probably the one that we got certified in, which was the TBM 930. That one goes a little faster. Cruise speed is about 210, I think. And then the other thing that we actually found out about Neo yesterday was that they have these adventure missions once a day. And we're gonna keep an eye out on those. The one that was up there yesterday was a little far away. Would have cost us about like $300,000 to move our pilot and rent the plane once we get there. So it probably wouldn't be worth it financially to do that one, but we'll keep an eye out for those. If there's one that's close by that doesn't cost us too much money, we're gonna go there. So you basically fly to the destination. I don't know, you loot the area, I guess. You get some gold, and then you can sell the gold. And I'm keeping an eye on that mountain. I'm pretty sure we can clear that. I'm hoping we can clear it. We're looking pretty close there. So we might actually take this off of GPS or off of autopilot. Yeah, we're not going to make that. And then we're going to have to deviate around this mountain. So we don't crash right into it. And then we'll get back on track. I think we were just going for the exact high point. Not too much of a deviation, but better to be on the safe side there. Because that thing's a beast. Alright, we can clear this over here. Don't want to scare the passengers. RPMs look good. Trim is a little high at 18%. Let's go ahead and reduce that. That'll help us pick up some speed. We'll get to altitude. Alright, so now that we cleared the mountain, we're going to reduce our trim a little more, 6%. Probably put us around 110. I guess 105. We still have to finish our climb. We're sitting at 5,500, but we might be able to reduce that down. I think that might have been the high point that we needed to set our altitude. Alright, let's see if we can connect to GPS. Yes, we can. Alright. FLC mode still on, connected to GPS on the autopilot. So we'll finish our lineup on our flight plan. Cessna 172 is pretty easy to fly once you get used to the navigation system, and autopilot, it's not too bad. Definitely as we get into the higher classes of planes, this one is still a Class A plane. Gets a little more complicated, but general concept remains the same. It's just where everything is and how you program everything in. So let's check our elevation here. Nope, we still got a mountain coming up at 5,200 feet above ground level. And that reminds me, I should probably test my altimeter. We're currently sitting at 29.92. We set it to the surrounding area here for the air pressure, and it drops down to 29.83. So that basically makes sure that our elevation is correct. So we're sitting at 26 nautical miles away from our destination, 15 minutes to go. And we are hitting our target altitude just about now. All right, so we are coming up to Cap Rock hiking trail. It's down here. Let's go ahead. See if we can get a good view of that. That is a long hiking trail for sure. And once we get over this mountain, we can actually start reducing our elevation, because the airport, we started off at 1,851 feet. That's what the runway over at Twentynine Palms was. And then we had to climb up to 6,500 feet that we're at now to clear some of these mountains. And then after this, it drops off at a pretty good rate. And the elevation at our destination is only 428 feet above ground level, so we are going to be dropping pretty much 6,000 feet. And looking at our map here, this is what I'm looking at. So Twentynine Palms is here. We took off. We flew around this mountain a little bit because we didn't have enough time to clear it. And then once we pass over, elevation drops, and we'll be able to reduce our altitude. All right, off to our left is a photo opportunity. Not for us, but this is Keys View. So I guess that hiking trail goes up to there, and it's a destination to get some touristy photographs of the desert. Alright, so we cleared the mountain. It's gonna drop off right there. Now I do believe that we are safely in the clear to start reducing our elevation. So the next one is, let's see, where's our ground elevation? 1,529. So what we will do, we adjusted our air pressure again, 29.76, and we will descend down to, we'll say 2,300. So we're going to adjust this all the way down to 2,300. 2997 is close enough in my book. And then we're going to turn on our FLC mode back on, because right now we're in altitude hold. So we turn on that, and then if we reduce our vertical speed, or increase our vertical speed, I'm sorry, we'll start our descent. And then we can also reduce our throttle, get that to help out a little bit. So now we're cruising our descent at about 135 knots. Everything's looking good. We got 16.8 nautical miles away from the airport. Runway not in sight yet. 10 minutes to go. Coming up to, that's 1,000 Palms, California. Altitude check 4,400, target 2,300. RPMs look good, oil pressure and temp look good. Fuel sitting at 45%. We're going to be making a right-hand turn towards our destination airport, which might be this over here. Let's see if we can get it in view. It might be a bush trip target. Usually so far off on finding the airport. Beautiful area here. Scanning the area for the airport. Do not see it yet, but we will. So we're leveling out here. Speed dropping. 2,300. We're gonna make sure that we got our hand on the throttle, just in case we drop too much in speed. 12 nautical miles away. Alright, leveling out at 94, reducing a little bit there. That's where we want to increase our throttle a little bit, because the nose is pitching up. But we don't want to go too fast here, because we're going to have to start getting ready for our descent. Alright, we'll go, since we're close by, 85, safe to deploy our flaps. Increase our throttle a little more. Maintaining speed. We're good. Alright. And let's see, our next waypoint is 3 minutes 25 seconds. And that's the beginning of our approach. So what we can do now, since we're sitting at 2,900, we're going to reduce this down to 1,600. Turn that back on. We can increase our vertical speed just a little bit. We're going to be passing over Cathedral City. We can reduce our throttle because we stopped descending. Target of 1640. We can probably even go a little more. We'll do 1300. Reduce our throttle a little more. increase. Oh, we're in altitude hold mode. That'll work. Alright, we're going to be making our right-hand turn shortly. In 1 minute. So even though it looks like we're beamline towards those mountains, we're going to be making a right-hand turn. Our landing lights are on, taxi lights on. Don't really need the taxi lights on now, I just always forget, so I turn them on to begin with. So looking at 4. Getting super close to that mountain. Just gonna throw our throttle. I was paying attention to the mountain, not the speed. Alright, there's the runway. And that approach is pretty tight to that mountain. Alright, so we are sitting at 1,300 feet. Runway sits at 428. Once we clear this little hill, we will drop this down to about 800. $820 is good. Turn that on. Get our descent, runway in sight.
Palm Springs Tower Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is 4 miles southeast 1,300 feet when Echo to land.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha Palm Springs Tower. Altimeter 29.76. Wind calm. Fly left traffic runway 13 right.
Alright, they're giving us a detour from our plan.
Traffic runway 13 right Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
So we are going to turn off autopilot here. Had plans on landing on runway 31L, which is right there. They want us to come in on the other side. So that 13R, come on. We're going to adjust our flight plan, destination runway to 13R. So that is the big runway. Just on the other side. I think that's a bunch of windmills out there. Being eco-friendly. Alright, we're going to make sure we clear the runway there. So we'll probably fly out to the end of the housing. And make our turn. So coming up here,
Golf Sierra Alpha, wind calm, clear to land runway 13 right.
Clear to land runway 13 right, Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
alright, we got clear to land. This housing development here is called the Desert Park Estates. So we're going to start our turn here. It's going to be pretty tight landing, but we'll be alright. We're going to reduce our elevation a little more to get ready because that airport's going to pop up pretty quick once we make our second turn. Keeping it above. Runway is going to be to our left. Should be coming into sight now. I'm going to reduce our speed. Line up to the runway here. Alright, reducing speed even more.
500.
There's the runway threshold with all the arrows. Coming in a little fast, but that's alright. Pitch up, pitch up. I see that. We can pretty much cut the engine off. Lift the nose up, get a nice soft landing here on the downslope.
Transported from dispatch. Nice landing.
Alright,
Go to the parking and put your parking brake on. I'll be in touch.
what I've been forgetting to do is actually show how soft
Sierra Alpha, exit runway when able.
how soft or hard the landing is, so we're going to try to remember to do that now. So we're exiting clear runway.
Sierra Alpha, contact ground on 121.9er.
We're going to reduce our speed. We're going to contact ground.
121.9er Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha. Goodbye.
We're going to park here for a second because we are unfamiliar with the airport. Put our parking brake on. Request parking.
Palm Springs ground Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha. Request taxi to parking.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Whiskey 1 Whiskey Bravo, cross runway tree 1 left Bravo, Charlie Alpha.
Alright, we need taxiway BCA. BC. And where is A?
Cessna Golf Sierra
Ah,
Alpha, did you hear my last transmission?
I did. I'm sorry.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Whiskey 1 Whiskey Bravo, cross runway tree 1 left Bravo, Charlie Alpha Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
Alright, I got it. So, release the parking brake, increase our throttle. We'll get our taxi to the parking deck for general aviation. Alright, it's not too far of a trip. I still haven't forgotten about finding out our landing statistics. So we are crossing over runway 13R. And now 31 R. Alright, we're going to find a spot over here to the right. Alright, let's go right over here. Alright, parking brake set. We will turn off our engine.
Transporter, you can open the doors and begin the disembarkation.
Turn off our alternator and our battery. And we can even turn off our alarm here. Alright, so looking at our stats, our log, our landing was minus 78. So a decent landing is between minus 60 and minus 180. So we hit it pretty good.
Transporter from dispatch. Another passenger mission completed.
All right.
Thanks, and bye.
So appreciate you tuning in. We will see you on the next one.